Good afternoon. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. A little overcast and rainy here in South Florida over the weekend. Well, Saturday was nice, but as you local peeps know, Sunday and today, a little overcast, but take a look at the water conditions out there. I bet you clear as a bell as far as clarity goes, and clean. Look at that. Nice day for swimming and just frolicking in the ocean. I don't even know what the temperature is here. Let's take a look here real quick because I'm kind of curious myself. And 77 degrees too. It's kind of nice right now. It's the overcast conditions. So hey, the theme for the day and the quote for the day is actually one I can't. Man, it's a writer that I saw, and he posted it on one of his Twitter feeds or something. It says, "Name one time in history when the group fighting to ban books and censor speech were the good guys." I'll wait. So, and you know what? That was a very heavy-hitting statement, and you're welcome to share that or use that and remember that because it's true. Think about that. When in our history has anyone, and censorship happens in all types of form. We're going to talk. We talk about politics. We talk about it happens in economics as well. Politics, economics, personal opinions in the professions like the medical field, the science field. There's times when people want to ban what people say and censor speech, and when in the history of mankind, man and womankind, have we ever, or when the group fighting or wanting to ban books and censor speech, when were they ever the good guys? And this also includes today, folks. So if you take a look at what's going on all over the world, not just in the United States, but all over the world when it comes to banning stuff and banning people, banning ideas, thoughts, narratives, and censoring speech, it's happening all around us. And boy, that's the most dystopian thing that I imagine could even happen. I thought as the world's people got wiser and wiser, we would become more free with speech and become more free with people. But apparently there's a small segment of people there in the world that have a lot of more power than they should. That and they're the people in the wrong here. So anyways, want to get out of there. What does that have to do with precious metals? Well, it has everything to do with what we were talking about as far as comics and the comics, how comics has and the paper markets have completely driven the silver markets, big manipulative commercials out there doing this, and comics turns a blind eye to it. However, where is this in any corporate publication? Well, how come you're not seeing this on Fox Business, or you're not seeing it on Bloomberg Business or Wall Street Journal or any? That's because the narrative has been banned. It's not allowed to be spoken about. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Crooked people, or crooked, broken, backwards, stupid people are the ones that want to ban ideas, narratives, thoughts, even opinions. Just banning opinions. I don't care if the opinions are distasteful, nasty, we dislike them or not. There's something to be said about free speech. And one of the things I like about free speech is when the idiots pop their heads out of the holes, the occasional racist that's out there, not the made-up ones that the DNC and the rest of that brainwashed group believe. When they pop up, when they really pop up, that's the time when you whack-a-mole them, you know what I mean? And you can't whack-a-mole racist and idiots and morons unless they pop their heads out of the hole. So, all these moronic people that want to ban books, ban speech, and ban people from knowing the truth, they're just crooks and criminals, folks. Trust me on this. And the people that support them may not be crooks and criminals, but they're stupid. Let me get into, and again, how does this apply? Think about it. Think how long these markets with silver have been manipulated, and other markets as well. Gold markets we've seen manipulated heavily throughout the years. Silver markets, the currency markets got, are manipulated or were manipulated. Many of these big corporations, too big to jail, too big to fail. These are all the people that want to ban speech. The people. Because they don't want the truth being told. They don't want the truth out there. Well, okay, let's move into what's happening with precious metals. We're still sitting above that 1800 mark. It took the dip last night below sub 1800. Didn't stay there for long so far. Let's see how far these crooks and thieves can monkey hammer this on the Crimex casino floor. And 21.46 right now with silver. Bounced down to that 2087 level, I believe, overnight. We'll take a look at the 24-hour charts. High at 2153, and again, sitting close to that high at 2146. Will they try to take it down sub 21? It's possible. Again, it's so desperate in your face. Again, the manipulation that's going on is so desperate and in our faces. It just screams desperation that they're doing it like this. I mean, they're not even trying to hide it. They're not even trying to hide this manipulative behavior anymore. Well, there's no one there to regulate them. I don't know what the CFTC is doing, but they've been pretty worthless. But if you think about them, they've been worthless for decades. And maybe the CFTC can't go after them because they know if they do, they're liable for people to say, well, how come you didn't do this earlier? As far as CME Markets, CME Group, who runs the Crimex, again, we know that one of the questions I've asked them recently is in an email. I said, listen, if you were to admit this has been happening in the NYMEX markets and the Globex markets, would CME Group be liable? And I'm curious. I bet they would be liable for it. Maybe that's why they can't admit it's happening. But hopefully they can stop the bastards, because their own credibility is suffering. Well, 2146, a low at 2087. We'll look at the 24-hour charts. And platinum just doing pretty well, I think. I mean, platinum saw its bottom, I believe, in the sub 900 level for a little while. How low did it get? I forget. When did it get to 850? I don't think so, but it got into the high 800s, so stayed there for a little bit. Was a great buying opportunity for some of you. But since gold and silver has been getting monkey hammered to hell by the crooks and thieves in the Crimex markets, platinum is just kind of holding its own and doing very well. Palladium, just crazy. I don't know. We don't sell much of it. I don't buy, but it's still interesting to look at when you see that, this was a metal that was close to 3,000 or 4,000 something not too awful long ago and is almost sitting at par with gold. Now, palladium has huge uses in industry, including, I think, the automotive industry, if I'm correct. So maybe this is a tell. Maybe this is telling us that industry is going to slow down substantially or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But again, don't read much about it. And if you guys do, put it in the comment section below and I'll take a look at it. Let's take a look at the 24-hour charts here and see what we got going on. I'll do a quick, no sense in doing a refresh. This kind of is what it is right now. Let's take a look here. 1810, this is the overnight charts last night, Sunday. I forget what time the market's open, 6 or 7, whatever it is, or 5, whatever. And 1810, and then that who sells gold, especially in this environment in the world, who sells gold in the evening, in the middle of the nights. I mean, I don't believe that was Hong Kong. I believe that's New York Globex market. Who sells gold in the middle of the night for in large quantities just to watch the price drop back down? But look, we got that slingshot action. I mean, to me, I look at this and I say that's just manipulative behavior, spoofing, or something's going on there. I just got a gut feeling about it. I wish there was something out there could tell me where these overnight drops have been happening for the last month in thinly traded overnight markets, where and how and who is doing this. Because again, no smart person would sell a large amount of any particular asset, whether it's grain or whatever, in the overnight markets, the thinly traded overnight markets, without knowing that they're going to get their ass handed to them somehow, and that's not the smart way to do it. This is just sheer manipulative behavior, in my opinion, to be able to trigger a lot of sells by weak hands out there. But of course, I've seen, we're seeing gold just kind of shoot up above that $1,800 mark today. So the question really is the capitulation of these shorts, these big commercial shorts. When are they going to capitulate and stop adding, in what Ted Butler calls the smaller commercials? When are they going to stop adding these manipulative short positions? And they all work at in one big collusive unit. Because they all buy at the same time and pretty much sell not at the same time, but they all do the same thing at the same time pretty much. It's so in your face collusive. I mean, whether they're talking to each other or not, they're definitely following each other and just rinse and repeat. And this is exactly what we got going on with gold and silver right now. Gold's sitting down at that 1800 mark. Where's the bottom? I don't know, but it's not too far from here in my opinion. The same thing with silver, not too far from here. And you know what? The reason I don't worry about this, the only thing I'm concerned with when I see them, there's a couple things I'm concerned with. First, it's crooked. First, it's just manipulative, illegal behavior. It shouldn't happen. and it destroys the credibility of the marketplace. I don't think it's destroying the credibility of silver or gold. And I can't talk about platinum and palladium because I don't know how those markets are played, but silver and gold, I don't think it's destroying the credibility of either of those metals. What it is destroying is the credibility of the casinos where these trades take place. And like I said, it's COMEX, Crimex, and I just get so sick of talking about their name. And I don't say it in a nice way either, but I'm just so sick of it. And maybe it really does kind of hurt the integrity of silver and gold as well, because a lot of newbies, silver's down, man, gold's down, and and then whenever you talk about it going up, they say, well, the only reason it went up was because of Hunt Brothers or some kind of other nonsense bullshit that they heard from corporate media narrative, Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, or whatever nonsense those idiots in the corporate world spout on a daily basis about gold and silver. Clueless, by the way. Overnight markets, like I said, there you go. Gold kind of rebounds real quick, and let's see what's the odds that silver. I could be wrong on this, but what are the odds that silver kind of took a little? Let's see when silver is that about the same time. That's in the Hong Kong market. There you go, right there. A little bang on silver, probably about the same time. Look at that, and at the same time. All right. No one finds this odd when you look at these charts. No one finds this really odd. It's done at the same time. Thinly traded markets. I mean, I'm a physical trader when it comes retail and wholesale, bars and coins. And my specialty is not charts. My specialty is not reading CO2 reports. I leave that to people much smarter than me, like Ted Butler and the chart guy, who I happen to like. Their comments on charts. I'll get to that in a little bit too. Again, silver looking pretty good here, jumping up in the markets here. Ted Butler brings up an excellent point that the availability of 1,000-ounce bars is at its lowest it's ever been, or it's been in a long time. So even the 1,000-ounce bar market is getting hit pretty hard. So physical might be the reason that they're not able to knock this price down. I suggest, or I'm thinking much lower. So I'm suggesting that the physical, which is the dog is wagging the tail, which is the paper markets, and again, for decades and decades and decades, the paper markets have wagged the dog, the physical. So I believe that's starting to reverse itself slowly. It's a self-created thing by them constantly shorting this metal like this, and then letting it go, and then shorting it again, the rinse and repeat cycle that Ted talks about all the time. But here we go again. I suspect if we've seen bottom, that we're going to see a big reversal back to the upside again. And don't forget, folks, this is how they make money. They flush out the longs, they go back in, buy their short positions, they flush, repeat, and there you go. We know for a fact that after, you can just trade on what these fuckers are doing, is once they bang it, it's going back up again, all right, in this environment. But at some point, they're going to stop doing this because they're going to lose too much money. It's going to be too difficult for these commercials to keep doing this, especially when they're draining physical out there, where physical is being drained off the market. All right, we talk about that stuff too much. Let's take a look at the stock markets, which looked a little stronger this morning. Equities did. And I like to look at the equities markets because this is the darling of Wall. This is the corporate darlings right here. These are the darlings of the corporate media and the darlings of Washington, D.C., and all the people that pay them off. And all the people they pay off or whatever. I'm sorry. I'm just seeing a more corrupt world every day out there. And it's not just one party, it's both parties, folks. People need to take back control of this stuff. But I digress. This is not going to be a protest channel today on politics. So down, and the only reason I believe this market hasn't flushed down instantly, or not instantly, but in a large way and quickly, is because I believe that the plunge protection team, and again, it's not a made-up source, it's not a made-up name, just pause this video, Google plunge protection team or whatever you use for a search engine, and then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. They're supporting the stock market from a complete collapse. They're letting the air out of the balloon very slowly, as opposed to an overnight collapse, because that's the only thing they learned from 2008. Don't let it collapse overnight. That's bad. They didn't learn how to fix it, change it, do anything different. All they learned is don't let things collapse on my watch. All right, I didn't say it. GATA.org. Listen, if you're new to stacker, new stacker, old stacker, of course, I always say these are the guys that talk about how the gold markets are manipulated. Ted Butler, in my mind, is the number one when it comes to the silver markets. GATA.org is the number one when it comes to gold markets, all right? both people you need to be listening to, because if you're sitting at the card table and you don't know who the sucker is, it's probably yourself. And Ted Butler, and when it comes to silver, and Gatto when it comes to gold, will teach you how to be a better player at that table. And not to worry about these knockdowns like we're seeing. And in fact, it provides the opportunity to buy back, and it's going to shoot back up again. Again, just we got to bounce off this bottom, and where the bottom is depends on where these crooked people in COMEX put it. All right, but I believe they're losing control of it. I really do. I got that in my gut feeling because of the desperation of the moves, and the gigantic moves and monkey hammerings that they're doing. I think they're in desperation mode, folks. I just feel it. I don't know. Something's going on. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what your opinion is in the comment section below. And let's see what's going on in ZH. You know, one of the reasons I like ZH, folks, and I said this many times in the past in videos, because it's not just one person writing these articles. It's all different viewpoints, and I like different viewpoints. And they bring up some really good stuff here. I think there's a growing. I think ZH is probably one of the largest blogs, or I won't say blogs, but hubs of different opinions and sources and different types from left to right to middle. And mostly, I'm going to say, mostly conservative when it comes to fiscal stuff. There are whispers of shift to physical commodities being used as trade settlements. This is probably true. You know, with the U.S. And Europe weaponizing the euro and weaponizing the dollar, they're forcing people to use alternative ways to trade with some of the largest trading partners in the world, Russia and China. Okay, China is soon to be probably on that list as well. And they see the writing on the wall. Russia saw this years ago, man. Russia and China both knew this. They've been de-dollarizing for a long time. These idiots, and the idiots, I don't think Bernanke would, you know, actually I don't think central bankers would have any bans on Russians because they make too much money from them. However, they're controlled by idiot politicians, or are they, do they control the idiot politicians? I don't know. Probably that way. And oh no, you don't say it. It was a mistake, Mr. Bernanke. Who figured that out? All right. Rise in home prices, gasoline's hits new high. Folks, we're into major, and again, all you have to do is just kind of go down the list here. We're into major problems with inflation here. I don't think gasoline prices are going to get any cheaper. In fact, I can probably see $7 gas prices not too long from now this summer. And real estate prices just got too crazy, you know, and the interest rates are going up, so that's going to, the only reason real estate prices were so high, think about it, it's not just new homeowners, because new homeowners are having a hard time getting qualified. I mean, it's hard to get people into homes. You know who was buying? People that had money already who were benefiting from low interest rates. So the housing market was never strong. It was, you know, it was just that the interest rates were so super cheap. It was a no-brainer for people with money that could get these loans at low interest rates to go out and buy a lot of homes. Think about the corporations that bought entire neighborhoods. Corporations that bought entire neighborhoods, folks. So they're going to pay for that too. You watch that. That shit's just going to. You know, some of these big corporations that went out and bought like 6,000 homes, I forget the name of some of these companies, they really exist, by the way. I think they're going to get their heads handed to them at some point here when that market turns big, and it will. And where are we going here? S&P trades at, Luna found at 80,000. Boy, that's a lot of Bitcoin right there. Boy, that whole Luna thing, man, that is amazing. Thankfully, one of the reasons that you like gold and silver, folks, because that'll never happen to you with gold and silver, ever, ever, ever. Well, you'll never see gold and silver go to zero or near zero like you have seen one of the larger cryptos out there. But no less, I mean, it could happen to Bitcoin as well. I mean, I don't know what's going on out there, but I'm glad I'm in the gold and silver market, and I'm glad you are as well. So I don't know, not too much here more to talk about. Rubles for gas, they've been talking about that for a while. And all right, bear markets, bear markets, bear markets. Let's take a look at yesterday's video, which was real silver, real cheap. And by the way, I did two videos on Friday. One was called Red Alert Silver Buyers, and as you know, Red Alert Silver Buyers was just, oh, here, let me just turn that down. We'll get rid of that stupid ad. There we go, skip the ad. I was talking about, really, I think we need to have a protest with CME Group, with CFTC, but I see CME Group's probably a good place to start. Start giving them a call up their I think their offices, and I believe I gave out a number that they gave me at their front desk, gave me this number for CME Chief CEO Terrence, and I talked about how we need to do this professionally, how we need to do this politely. And anyway, good video. I hope you got a chance to watch it. It's called Red Alert Silver Buyers. I did it on Friday morning before I did this one. But let's go over here and take a look at questions that I might be able to answer. I'm going to sort by newest first. I'm going to do a sip of coffee here. Barry Williams. Is this my friend Barry Williams? Coin dealer Barry Williams, by the way? I don't know. Barry, if that's you, let me know. But if it's not, Barry Williams is a common name. And thanks for commenting, Barry. Yeah, Barry agrees with the manipulation market, but added the problem is there a liquidity crisis growing in the global financial system. Yeah, same thing that happened right before 2019, before the critter came along. Maybe the critter was a good excuse to close down the economy because it was about to get smacked down hard. I mean, there's a lot of thoughts and opinions on this. And thanks for commenting, Barry. There's our chart guy. Hey, let's read chart guy here. And chart guy, I thought we were supposed to take off a little bit higher, but you know, I guess it's you kind of reading charts are reading what's happening. Maybe I don't know. I thought we were going to see much higher prices once, and you didn't think we were going to dip down below 23. And I'm not trying to be a jerk by asking you these questions, but let's read what chart guy says because I believe he is really good at reading charts. Without getting too much in the weeds, two things could occur before the market validates a pattern via breakout. Pattern could morph, wave structure changes, or two, completely blow up a current pattern. The pattern clearly morphed from a pennant formation to a falling wedge. All right. Both are extremely bullish, formidable patterns. The only variation with this change is continued trading range before conclusion, which could add another 2 months. You can view this as good or bad news, yet the longer the market consolidates, the more energy it is storing prior to the next breakout. And I'm going to pause here because Ted Butler talks about this as well. He mentions that in his most recent article that the longer the pain is kind of prolonged on this, the bigger the rebound and the stronger the rebound that we're going to see. And I agree 100%. Remember what I was talking about. I believe these markets are heavily manipulated by these big commercial banks, and it's a rinse and repeat thing. So it's pretty easy to see that we're still in the rinse mode right here and not quite the repeat when it starts going up. But no less, I believe chart guy here kind of feels the same way there. The longer the market consolidates, the more energy is storing the next breakout. I would have to agree with that 100%. Again, because the big commercials have to let it go back up again in order to drive it back down again. So all this will do is provide more rocket fuel to when silver breaks out for a sustained run to historical highs. This is where I got issues because it won't run to historical highs, I believe, 100 or bust chart guy, until this rinse and repeat action by the large collusive commercial banks is stopped by the CME group, or that it blows up in their faces, literally blows up in their faces. Again, Ted Butler talks about the big decrease in available 1,000-ounce bars on the market. Maybe the physical lack of physical will be what causes the big commercials to stop adding to their short positions and stop manipulating this market down. But the up and down action, this up and down action is sheerly manipulative action. It has nothing to do with organic market action, in my opinion. Let me move on from here. I'm sorry to digress there. What needs to occur now is a silver turnaround and silver go back and attack the $25 or $26 area. I'm looking for these lows to hold and commence on a decent rally back up to the upper trend line. I think you are correct there, sir. But again, in my opinion, it's because the shorts, the shorts needed to go back up again before they reestablish their big short positions again. It is important to note the technicals will line up with some important fundamentals in the making, and the pennant pattern was just not ripe to follow a point to allow metals to break out. That was the only part I might disagree with, sir. Again, I believe these, every time the market gets to a certain point here, that these big commercials spoof the markets and the overnight markets. Not only do they spoof them, whatever other illegal manipulative behavior they do, I believe they also do what Ted Butler does, is just big short positions, and then they allow it to go up, and they take out the long traders, and they again rinse and repeat. 100 or bust. I hope you do read some Ted Butler stuff, and if you haven't, please do. I'd appreciate it. With that said, silver and gold are holding up given the hawkish monetary policy and rampant rising dollar. We'll stay fairly consistent sell-off in indexes. However, metals are now very oversold. I agree 100%, sir. And both gold and silver have a very similar pattern and forces a falling wedge. Gold has declined to 61.8% Fibonacci retracement. Fibonacci, did I pronounce that right? Which is a fairly strong support, whereas we should see a turn to the upside. Again, I think you're 100% correct that we are going to see a turn to the upside once we've hit that bottom, because then that's how they manipulate the market. Run it down, goes back up, run it back down again. Rinse and repeat. 100 or bust, thank you very much. I appreciate all your commentary on charts, and I do believe you know charts very well. I'm just, I think the power of the big commercials overwhelms the charts, in my opinion. But again, I could be wrong on that, and please let me know what you think. The rest of you commenters as well. BWB says, Brian, the entire Dow moves hundreds of points on about a dozen companies. Yep, that's true. I can't argue with that there, Stephen W. And your local coin dealer only had 1,000 silver, but all they had was 100-ounce Engelhart bar, numismatic stuff. That's okay. Well, it's been tough to get 1-ounce products and 10-ounce products. I've been pretty lucky so far. I have a very good source, Dealer X, my friend Dealer X. God, I hope to do an interview with Dealer X here coming up one day, and I will. Very interesting guy, knows the market really well. I mean, super well. He deals in multi-millions ounces of silver and gold. KS Coin says, hello from Kansas. What's up, dude? How's it going? Thank you again for your great, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And you stay safe, and peace to you as well, sir. Joyce Meyer, yeah, that's one of the ones I quoted. Prosperity gospel preachers, yeah. I don't really know much, but I did like that quote that I quoted, so appreciate that. And I did ask who she was, because I didn't look it up, but I did like the quote. Thanks, Nick. Tree Climber, thank you very much. Rubbermaid Spatulas. I'm thinking of Saturday Night Live. Anybody remember Saturday Night Live when they had Spatula City with Dan Aykroyd? Like a specialty store. It's kind of like Ned Flanders with his right-hand only store, I think, huh? Chase says, we live in an age, yeah, no argument there, man. Let us know if you get a silver squeeze raid this weekend. Appreciate the honesty, great vids. Thank you. Who the F plays paper markets? Yep, can't argue with that. It's probably some people who vote at 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess that video just came out. I kind of wanted to watch it. The one with Dinesh, what's his name? And talks about, 2,000 mules or something. Anyways, own nothing to be happy. There you go, Stack. Yeah, I agree. A lot of old timers out there say these SmackDowns provide a great opportunity to buy the physical, and I would agree. But the premiums suck. And what I don't like about the SmackDowns is that it just makes the market look bad to new people and to people outside our little circle. You know what I mean? Yeah, there you go, Linda. Absolutely, I agree with you. And Invisible Stacker, Gary Biggs, Harley, Gary Biggs again, with paper and wallet. Yep. Andy Hoffman, he talks so much about precious metals. I think he has awareness. Yeah, I read about that, and I think a lot of people have been talking about this as well. And I would, I'm in agreement with them. It's definitely manipulated. Hey, Itchy Balls, what's up? You're a newbie too, a newbie, Itchy Balls. Hey, nice, thanks for commenting there. 12 to 20 range, now we're in the 20-30 range. Yeah, and you're kind of right. Until we break that $30 range, it seems like $10 increments mostly. In between is $5, but that's just the way it seems. I think we're going to break through it here. I'm just really surprised. Again, never underestimate these crooked commercials, short positions in comics. Thank you, Chris and Juan. I appreciate that, American Patriot. Oh gosh, what outfit? I was wondering what Sam was talking about. That outfit drives me nuts, and you have that curvy. Thank you very much, Sam. I do have a curvy body. I'm just joking. Some bull nonsense here. Let's just remove that real quick. Sorry about that. Strongman, Helen Kessler, Celtic Knot. Yeah, Joyce Myron's a pure and looks like a joke from all of us. Okay. Now you're going to make me look for a picture. Wayne, thank you very much. Keep buying. And, Joe, good evening. Blammo. I think that's it, folks. Short Monday report here. Of course, my theme for the year and my quote for the year, and probably my quote for life, because I've always lived by this, is think for yourself and question authority. Most of all, and the first best place to start is questioning yourself. questioning your own narrative, questioning what you believe you know. Go back, take a look, because sometimes what you think you know is just what was told to you, not what you were, you know what I mean, not what you learned on your own. So I always say question yourself first, and then question others and authority, and you'll be much better at it. You'll go a lot longer in life by doing this, folks, too. And the other thing, as I've always said, turn off that corporate television news. It sucks. I haven't watched CNN, NBC, I haven't watched Fox, I haven't watched any of those since 2008. The smartest thing I ever did in my life. I go out and I look for news online, but I don't watch them bastards for the most part. Hey, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. And by the way, I almost forgot to tell you what the best deals are. The same deals they have been forever. So today I'm going to skip it. Watch one of my videos. You'll hear me repeatedly talk about what the best deals are. And I also advertise to beat the online guys, especially JM Bullion, the Walmart of bullion. So if you live in South Florida, I'm your dude when it comes to gold, silver, and platinum and palladium purchases and sales. So if you live in our area, we're open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. Come by. I have a really good staff. I can hook you up with some good stuff. We do cash and carry up to 10 grand over that. Checks only and proper ID, and we do have a delay on delivery times, even though we have it on hand. We cover our butts here. Hey, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day, and let's see what happens tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, the coin. It's a bear. All right, bye now.